Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone out there in the world. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS NA North American East E-Crit presented by CycleOps. This is a race series put on by KISS and Zwift in which the top competitors in the series are going to be going to a live final invite to be determined date in March, actually. And they are racing on the classic course on London tonight. The men are jumping out on course right now. We've got about 2 minutes to the start to the women's race. It looks like lots have shown up to the race. As the men do take off, we want to take a look at some of the past results, though, and where things are at for the series. Joining me from Zwift headquarters, we do have Mr. Rasan Bahati himself, actually, to co-commentate with us. Welcome to the broadcast, Rasan. How's it going?
Nathan, pleasure to see you again. It's going great. Excited to get this KISS race underway and looking for some excitement today.
Yeah, they are definitely underway and kicking like they usually do from the get-go with big wattage here. And we do see a couple of riders jumping in there out of Europe. Now, they are not eligible for the final out of Europe. So we are seeing Pawlowski here, though. Maybe just jumping in there for a late night workout, showing off for the camera maybe a little bit there up at the front end of the course here. But looking through some... Oh. We got a little break up there for a second there, but we are good now. So looking through some of the past results here, current series leader, Casey Shum, been playing it really smart, actually. And I was made aware of this great new tool over at ZwiftPower.com. ZwiftPower.com is where you can find all the results as well as the rankings for this series, actually. And Casey Shum, current series leader, he's going to be out on course. Now, Zwift has done this great thing and put a leader's jersey into the game. And I'd be really surprised if we do not find Casey out on course right now in the yellow jersey. Actually, he's a little ways back. I am seeing his avatar there with Team Experimental in the name, actually. So Casey is out there hanging out in the yellow jersey. Now, we do have Justin Pierre-Vicati, Adam Zimmerman, Big E, as well as Eric Lucelle out there as well. So those are your top 5 in the standings right now. The ranking tab, though, is really interesting. We are seeing that Spencer Seckerbrook here, as well as Casey Shum, the Justin Pierre-Vicati, are all, and Eric Lucelle, Michael Podzaline, all ranking around 17 points for each one of the races that they are doing. There's an averaging of the rankings, actually, for each race, actually. So every time somebody completes a race, they get added to their average for the rank for how many points they get per race. And it gives you an idea of where people have been placing. And Adam Zimmerman all the way through Spencer there for that top 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 or 7 riders, really on the cusp of taking the overall maybe here. Spencer here, though, only doing 3 races so far, definitely with 18 points on average. I mean, he's right on second or third, maybe first. I am seeing a second, a third, and a second from him. So that's a cool new feature, actually, over at ZwiftPower.com. For the women's side, they are taking off from the start-finish line right now, just heading through the banner, actually. We're going to jump in with them here real quick as they head out on course. And Rasan, always fast and furious. I know you've done a few races out on Zwift, and you said they were so crazy fast from the start. Yeah. How do they end up going for you?
Oh, man, you know, you definitely have to warm up before these races. I think for me personally, I need at least an hour of a good warm up where I get my heart rate up really high, because it's like a cyclocross race, you know, like the flag drops and they take off, and then it's all about recovering and then going with those moves again. So I got to get better at the warm-up so I can compete a little bit more in Zwift.
Yeah, it's stupid fast right from the get-go. And we are seeing a lot of yellow jerseys down there. Fearless is showing up in force, it looks like, actually. And but not to be confused with the overall leader in the series, which is Katrina Weiss, actually, in this yellow jersey, actually.
Now, is that Scotty Weiss's wife?
This is
that in relation?
Yep,
it's in the blood, huh?
His wife. Yeah, it is. It
wow.
is. And they actually race. I think what's really cool about this and really highlighting the platform and what it makes available to riders is that I believe probably one of them's hanging out with Noah at night. right? While
Yeah,
she races
okay.
the East, and Scotty is current series leader in the West. So I think they're
That's
taking
awesome.
turns. Yeah, it's totally awesome. Family involved. I know Noah rides out on Zwift here and there as well, and it's really
Zwift
cool.
family.
Yeah,
That's
very,
awesome.
very, very cool, and having really good time following them along through all the adventures out on Zwift with them. We've got to meet them in real life multiple times actually at live events that they've qualified for and raced in actually, as they were at almost every one of the live events I think that have gone on so far with the CVR actually. So cool. Katrina here, 3.8 watts per kilogram. Now, what's interesting with the women though, if I go through the results for the ranking, she's currently series leader with 78 points, but after the restart here, we've got a couple of, it looks like, ringers coming through here. Ellen Tarquino, 19 points rank, 2 races, and she's averaged 19, 2 second places. We're seeing Britt Mason as well out there with a first and a third. Caitlin Patterson with a first and a second place. Beth York averaging 18th. It looks like 18 points. Katrina right there in the middle, right, very consistent. She's got 2 wins and averaging about 15 on rank though. So still within about 6th to 7th place or so on the ranking for what she's averaging, but definitely still consistent enough with 5 races to have that overall lead. Now I think she's going to have her work cut out for today to hold on to that today. If she still has some wiggle room, 78 to 63 to the next one. So excuse me on that. I misspoke. I think she's going to hold on today. If she can be in that top 5 to 10. Laura, though, if she's in the pack here, I'm going to have to double check and see if Laura Fideo is out there today. And if she is out there today, be watching out. Yep, we do see Laura there. She is going to be out there, and I believe she's going to be headhunting today following any moves as she's sitting in that second place right now. Now, she also has won, though, with a 15 on the rank. So, again, 1 bronze, 1 win very early on. But we do have some heavy hitters coming through with Melissa Hunter. Kim Beezer's out there, a couple of W's for her. Beth York from Vixen, always want to watch out for, second place and a win out there as well. And now is Beth on course is another question too. Man, so many strong women showing up here week in and week out here. It's hard to make any predictions, just from the start list here. So looking through here, I'm seeing
through the Zwift Power myself. I'm trying to familiarize myself with all the strong riders, and you get to blurt them out because you've been at this a little longer. So it's nice to hear you talk about the names, and I could rerun them through my mind just to see who are the stronger riders and see the consistency that they show in these Zwift races, which is pretty cool. You can look at, like you said, the first, seconds, and thirds and fourths, and how they continue to compete out here. So it's nice to have this platform. So thanks, Zwift Power, for that.
Yeah, so over on the league results, if you go to the actual league results, for anybody watching right now, you can actually see where everybody stands. But on the right-hand side, there's actually an ability, well, actually at the top of those standings, you can click on number of events, number of points, history, as well as rank, and it will actually filter the list by one of those at the top there. And so when you click on rank, you can actually see how well they've been performing on average throughout all of the races so far right now. So
awesome.
As looking at the women's here, I'd be watching out for, like we were saying here, Carissa Min actually 16 on average. I'm wondering if TFC is out there today with Carissa. I thought I saw a TFC kit. It'd be interesting to see how she plays her cards on this course here. As I do know, she does have some solid climbing legs on her, I believe. But looking toward the back here, I do see Chris, I believe, here at the back of the pack here, sitting in, moving way forward. She's going to be in that CRCA kit that TFC does use. So Min is in the house. For those of you who don't know, a lot of people do nickname her and her husband Admin, as they are great community servants, actually, as a part of all of the Facebook groups out there. They do a lot of moderation and as well Michelle's helping out with any information, questions, comments over at all the groups, actually, though. And lots of coach, though, about lots of jokes, though, out there about how Carissa just needs to calm down. But no calming down out here, Carissa. 193 beats per minute. Let's bring that heart rate up even more at 122 watts here. Trying to hang on, it looks like.
That's
I think
like
she
my
beats
max
over
heart
200
rate at this moment. Wow,
I'm not positive. I think she does.
She must be pretty young.
The compliments are coming out here from Rasan, actually. And we're seeing average heart rate of 193 at the last CVR World Cup, actually, she did. That is beaten like a butterfly, actually, here. So wow. Absolutely flying with the heart rate. Hopefully that'll take her to a solid result on the day. Now, we did lose, for some reason, our feed there for a second there. I've been having an issue with my NDI feed. I'll see if I can get that going again. Sorry about that, everybody, but we will have that right back. No problem. It's just a restart I've had to do on the day today, but it should be right back up in just a second. We're back in with the men, though. Here looks like up toward the front of the race, Pierre Ficati, who is the current CVR World Champion. Actually, he was in Las Vegas and took that W. Pierre Ficati here out of Canada, always strong. Showed me last week that he does, I think it was last week or the week before, he has sprinter's legs on him, and
nice.
He was almost kind of like, I called him out as like not having the ability to sprint because of how he won the Las Vegas event, actually, by just going away from the get-go. And I think he was like, that's enough of that, Nathan, and just threw down one of the best sprints I've ever seen out on Zwift to take the W, actually. And looking through here, that was last week, it looks like, in the KISS Men's Crit. NA actually took the W out there with a solid, it looks like 15-second sprint at 11.9 watts per kilogram. So Pierre Ficati, watch out for him. Last week's results
right there.
Yeah, huge wattage there. Justin Pierre Ficati, Spencer Segebrock, Adam Zimmerman, Michael Podzaline, and then it was Eric Lassell. That was the top 5 last week, actually. So a couple of attacks, though, starting off here. James Hodges, the Cake Power himself. So Hodges runs with power. If you did not know, he's actually cool. The man behind, well, him and a few others are the main instigators, main techs over at ZwiftPower.com. So a little bit of a kick there from him. He's coming out of Europe, though. Maybe just having a little bit of a workout late at night here, making sure he stays awake, maybe to help out with the results as well by getting the endorphins running there. Always keeps you up. I think the late night Zwifting, I used to run the KISS 100 at like midnight, Rasan. That's going to be a late night for James, I think.
Yeah, that's tough, man. You're right. It does keep you up. For me, it's like an extra 2 hours of being awake if I do Zwifting after about 10 o'clock. So I try to get mine done nice and early, but it is addictive. I'm going to go home and hop on Zwift tonight before I have to wake up and come back to work the next day. So
are you're going to jump in? You're saying you're going to do the West, right? You're going to jump into the West race and mix it up?
What time is the West race? Maybe. It all depends on what time.
Yeah, I believe it starts around 8 o'clock your time. I got to double check that though real quick. Yeah, I think it's like 8 o'clock your time. I think you got time. Is
there a F category?
Is there an F category? There's
an F category.
There's one category. You jump in and hang on. Now it's crit racing. You know how to do this, right? So earlier in the day today, Rasan, we saw some attacks out of the corners, and those attacks out of the corners have been used a lot more recently. It seems like people are really picking up on the reality of the slowdown of the pack into the corners and attacking out of them. That's a huge thing to crit racing.
Quite a few times. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the big accordion effect, you know. The guys in the back are getting ready to make a U-turn. It's not as real as real life where you really have to slow down, but on Zwift, you do literally lose a little bit of power in these U-turns and in these turns. So the person at the front goes really hard, and by the time they're at 35 miles an hour, you're still at 15 or 20, and you have a lot of room to make up. So it definitely works.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing in these corners for sure. And just so everybody knows, if you are out there racing on this specific course or any course that does have those corners that it seems like your avatar slows way down, that's because it's slowing down, and you can actually attack out of those in order to gain an advantage over the others in the group that are with you here. So I am seeing a couple of names out here that's interesting to be showing up today. I just saw Zwift Kid actually coming out of Australia. So he can grab some points on the day, not toward the overall in the series, but he can take a position away from others out on course. And he actually took a W in this race actually early on in the E-Crit actually. Be watching out for him. He's actually second place at the live event in Australia, Anthony Ciano. So be watching out for him. Very strong rider, actually. Took second to Aaron Dunn, actually, at the Australian E-Crit, which is the live event that took place, the first one that we had, actually. That was a Zwift official event, actually. So good to see Anthony out there representing. And looking through here, though, we are seeing Draft also out there with Zimmerman. Be watching out for him. I know he's been chomping at the bit to get one of these sprints. He's been right there over and over again, right on that podium spot, but haven't seen him for the W so far in the last couple of weeks here. So be watching out for him. Casey Shum, series leader, still up toward the front there. Now we are seeing Hodges again, KRT, setting a high pace here. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of KRT riders at the moment, though, out on course, which is interesting. I'm wondering if he's out there working for any of the team members. And no KRT that I can spot, though, on the day. It seems like they had a serious focus, though, on the European race today. So KRT not showing up in force, just with the Hodges there, it looks like, out there today. But Casey Chum's out there, maybe isolated. Not seeing too many team experimental riders. I'm looking through the ZwiftPower.com results list for live results and see if we do have any more team experimental
it's
riders.
Funny, they came out of the starting blocks really fast, but now it seems like they're pretty much settled in and maybe waiting on a fill sprint. It'd be a long time to wait for a fill sprint, but as you see, 185 watts, 200 watts, so they're not going too deep right now, which is interesting for a crit. You would think it'd just be full on balls to the wall, but can I say that live? Sorry, kids. But yeah, it seemed like they kind of settled in. So this is giving me some encouragement for tonight to go home and suit up and possibly get in one of these races.
It is about making the break, Rasan. It is all about just making the break. It does eventually settle down. It's a little easier when you don't have those Watopia walls right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because when you do hit those walls right from the get-go, it can get pretty intense, actually, pretty quickly. But I have a feeling every time they do head through the hall, though, here in just a moment, we are going to have some attacks. So Whitehall is one of the main places, and we are seeing Lemire here attack off the front, actually, out of Canada. I do believe he is a teammate of Eric Lascelles. I think they are both riding for Canada. I may correct me if I'm wrong there, though, out there in the chat. Now, I am seeing Eric there riding for Canada 4i. Alex Dion, actually, teammate of Eric Lascelles. I want to say that Lemire, though, does ride for somebody out of Canada that they were telling me about here. So, and attacking off the front right now, or maybe it was that I was being told that he was a top contender at the national level for, might have been some sort of national championship out of Canada, though. So
nice.
Gonna need to check in on our in real life results there a little bit, though. But we definitely have the 4i boys from the Cannondale 4i team out there with Alex Dion and Eric Lascelles for sure. And I'll be watching out for Eric in the sprint, though, as I know him as well as Zimmerman have been two I've been keeping my eyes on for the results, as they've been wanting, I think, really, really trying to time those sprints perfectly. And it really is all about the perfect sprint. It really is all about timing and tactics out there when it comes down to those final kilometers and those final meters. But, we've seen it over and over again. Riders trying to get away who do not want that sprint. And here we go. Yeah. Segerbrock here 185, 500 watts or so, 6.3 watts per kilogram. This is a serious effort after a climb. And Rasan, you got that little kick. It's about 15 to 30 second kick out of the hall into the square there. And then they have this flat section. Most of those riders are going to be put in the red. And with this corner in there, this is a good time to try and make a break.
And as you said, someone just launched one right out of the corner, getting ready to go under that 1K banner. That was a nice little acceleration. I don't know who that was.
So it looks like Segerbruch. Yeah, Segerbruch. Yeah, Segerbruch coming out of the USA here. Little followed it up there, though. M. Little there. And it looks like Cloutier and Gardner right on the wheel. So they're not letting this go. Now, there might be a counterattack, though, coming from ODZ here from Matt Johnson, actually, up toward the front end of this race here. Matt Johnson here, 3.4 watts per kilogram. Solid rider. He's been, he took second overall in the SCR series, actually, this past fall in the SCR winter series, fall series. The winter series has just gotten started, and him and Brett Boniface were trying to get away yesterday in the race and were unable to do so, actually. But solid results from Matt always. But he's been looking, also another one who's been looking for those wins recently, and we'll have to see if ODZ can throw down for the W. Chris Beck is also out there as well, elite mountain biker. I'd be watching out for him for the finish out there today. I want to take a look real quick at the current league results, actually, for those ODZ boys, because they are definitely going to be a threat, I think, out there. They got Pierre Ficati, so ODZ actually is showing up in force. We got Johnson. We've got Pierre Ficati out there. Beck is out there as well. So it looks like they're really focusing in on this East race out here today. If I look through and see where the current rankings are for Pierre Ficati leading things out, I'm seeing Matt Johnson with 3 races, currently in 18th place, actually. So maybe going to be playing a little bit more of a domestique out there, as Pierre Ficati is definitely one of the top placed riders. Rank-wise, he is 17 points on average and currently sitting second overall, trying to grab that
by 1
leader
point.
jersey.
Nice.
1 point, Rasan. You know Casey's watching that.
I mean,
hey?
if you look at the top 5, even at top 5, I mean, even though 5th place is out of first by 16 points, I mean, that's still pretty tight race. If someone happened to miss a race or, you know, have a mishap, don't get in the top 10 in one of these events, that whole top 5 changes right away. So looks like we got a good series going on between the top 5 guys. And even the guy Spencer in 7th place is kind of right in the mix too a little bit. So it's interesting to see all these guys going for it today.
Yeah, the rankings are so close right now within this men's NA series. Looking at the, like you were saying, right here, I see 1 point between first and second, but then just about 7 points back, we're looking at Adam Zimmerman from Draft. Then we're looking Big E, only 4 points off that. Eric Lasalle there, only 4 points off that. Michael Podsaline, I'm being told to call him Shaggy. I have no idea why.
Shaggy, Team X.
1 point off there. That's from his teammate, Casey Shump, series leader, actually, giving me a little message right now while he's racing, saying, make sure to call Michael Shaggy. And then the quick startup here, who's been getting a lot of podiums, Spencer Segerbruch here coming through with only 3 races, just a little ways behind in 7th place there. He's got some points to make up, but he's only got 3 races. All the rest of those ahead of him have 4 or 5 races.
All 3 races, so that's pretty sweet too. You know, he came out of the blocks swinging, 3 races, 3 podiums, so he was definitely one guy to watch.
Yeah, with an 18.7 rank average, he's definitely one to watch. He's actually got the highest average amongst the rest of the racers right now, though. But that's with only 3. Casey's got 5, and the averaged out just a little lower, about 1 point lower. And I wouldn't count Casey Shum out at all. One of the most experienced racers out on Zwift. So definitely be watching out for him for some solid tactics. When he times things correctly, he cannot be stopped in those sprints. So got a couple of comments coming through here. Now, if you do want to get involved in the broadcast, you can always do that. We do see Michael Sherry coming through here with a comment saying, good luck to B Bear. And Michael, good to see you here. If you do want to get involved in the broadcast like Michael did here, you can comment on the Go Zwift Facebook page where we are live. You can comment on the live stream over there. You can comment over at Zwift Community Live's Twitch. Make sure to hit that follow button over there as well. I did have a bunch of messages coming through to me. Hey, are you covering the cast today? Are you covering the race today? Are you covering the race today? If you want to know when we go live, you will get a push notification to your email, to your Twitch app, on your desktop, or on your mobile device if you have them on there. If you follow Zwift Community Live on Twitch. As a live streaming platform, it's the best place to get notifications anytime we do go live with anything here at Zwift Community Live. So make sure to head on over to Zwift Community Live's Twitch channel, hit that follow button. There's also a whole lot of chat going on over there right now. Hi, chat. How's it going? We can see, I see Board Pilot over there. G. Leo over there, the Lion. James Hodges is over there as well. Casey Shum is over there chatting away. I'm seeing a whole lot over there. How's it going there, chat? Yo, Nathan, can we get a quick preview of West later? Get some excitement going and I'll be streaming. Sounds good. Ian is over there as well. Ian Anderson, one of our longtime streamers and KRT racing team members. Good to see Ian over there saying hello as well. So good place to go, Twitch chat. Also, if you want to bring your photos in or any kind of media or comment through Twitter or Instagram, you can do so by photos at Z Community Live or on Instagram at Z Community Live. Our Instagram connection, for some reason, has had a little trouble lately. I'll see if I can get it going here and log on in. If I can do so, we'll be able to bring your photos in from Instagram and make sure to throw any of that, because I have a feeling that some people, Instagram is so simple, I think, for a lot of people to easily get their photos directly into the broadcast here. It looks like I was able to log in. For some reason, it wasn't allowing me, though, for a little while to get the photos brought directly in. So if we can, we're probably going to have this big, huge backlog, though, of all the stuff people have sent on our way. And there's some sort of I think it's something in the software there. So,
yeah.
But if there's anything over at Twitter is the best way to get them through here, if you would like to do so. And we are seeing Brent, it looks like maybe a relation there. Brent, and he's probably got a great correction for me as well. Sega Brook. I do see Brent, though, coming through with a good luck to Spencer as well. So thanks a lot for the comment over there. Justin Mikowicz is a chump. Thanks a lot, Alex. I think I hope that is I hope that's an all good fun with his buddy. I'm going to just assume that that's just some ribbing from a buddy there as we're reading. I was just reading through the comments there. And it's one of those, you just start reading and you just finish reading it because you started there. So looking through here now, we are seeing, it looks like V Marcotte, though, with, I think, a lapped group here. So now back here, 5.6 watts per kilogram. Elite mountain biker coming out of, I believe, the East Coast USA here. Charles from HPP there as well. Nobody able to get away. Maybe going to have a sprinter's delight here today, Rasan.
It's
maybe one of your favorites.
Definitely looking that way. Yeah, I've been just watching and looking at some of the power output and the heart rates and stuff like that, the cadence. I think everyone's kind of content for a fill sprint, but cycling is so tricky. You know, it's only so many sprinters, and then the guys who are really strong, most sprinters are smart enough and strong enough to hold on and make sure they don't get away. So tactically, it could become a nightmare for some of the non-sprinters, but if you're a sprinter right now, you got to be happy with the way this is going.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I think there's probably some people getting a little antsy. We're about halfway or so through, a little over halfway through the race at this point. They're going to finish right around 40 minutes, about 12 to 15 minutes of racing left, right? And I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of attacks, some trying to get away here. I was corrected. Thank you so much for the correction there. It is Sega Brook. Just like Genesis with a Brook on the end of it. So Sega Genesis, I'm going to call him Genesis from now on. This is he is the beginning. Here we go. Spencer, it's the beginning of his run at the overall in this series, actually. And one of the most consistent riders we've seen out there, Sega Brook, at 23.6K in They're going to be going for a solid 40 or so today. And now he looks to be doing a track stand. The track stands have started, boys and girls. We're going to have to get back in with the women here as the track stands have started. We're going to try and get back with the riders here as quickly as we can. We got M. Little. Looks like he's consistent on the connection. Hopefully we can stay with him. No, he decided it's time to do some track stands as well. So we're going to try and get our women's feed up here for you without any track stands, and hopefully be able to have a little bit of coverage. Okay, here we go. So we do have the women. They're staying pretty consistent here. No track stands. They decided that it's time to just race their bikes. I'm not sure what the guys are doing, but we do have Laura Fidea here off the front now, 3.4 watts per kilogram. Actually, excuse me, not off the front, with just a solid pole. Again, you know, NA has tended to be a little more animated, but I have a feeling with so much on the line here, again, every week we talk about this, when it's calmer, there's this, you know, there's a lot on the line. They don't want to risk too many of the matches. And I have a feeling that they're waiting for the perfect time, because that live invite is all about maybe just a few points as it comes down to later in the season. Yeah.
It's tough, man. I'm just, again, watching, and it's like now we're over to the women's race, and because you don't have, you know, any sort of elevation in this course, how do you time it? When do you do it? You know, are you going to let possibly a small break split away from the field, and as some of the stronger riders maybe leap across, establish the gap, and then try to ride away? Like I said, tactically, I think it's a little bit of a nightmare when you're really strong, but you don't have that common denominator to really break the field apart. Other than flat roads. So, yeah, they're going to have to use a lot of power to get away from the group on the men's and the women's side.
That's a great point, Rasan, about how to make it happen, because on a course like this, I think you've raced on plenty of fairly flat crit courses where you had to push somebody off the front, cause a little bit of a fake out almost of what's going to happen here, whether or not they're actually going to be able to get away at those moments, and then counter again or bridge to the attack and cause the heart rates of everybody who you're contending with just to rise to the roof any way you possibly can, because the kicks are so short that you can't really make too much of an impact on some of these riders who are so evened out in their abilities.
Yep. Great explanation. It's a great way of putting it. And so you're back to square one. You know, you try, and then hopefully you get to the point where you do rise those, make those heart rates go above and beyond what they're comfortable with, and as they say, you know, break the rubber band or the elastic. So I think the men and women are going to be up against the same sort of scenario, but I have a hunch it's going to be a field sprint today.
I think you might be right. We'll have to see. I have a feeling we do have a couple of sleepers sitting in, though, at this point. I know I've called out a few times, but there are some riders that have been very, very strong at the back end of these races. Specifically, I think Caitlin Patterson and Ellen here, Tarquino here, might be ones to watch out for a later attack. Kim Beezer, another one from the KRT team, also making her way to the front following the attacks. We did see Carissa Min with a solid climb through Whitehall, actually. Now, look at that, 200 beats per minute at the moment, actually. Wow. Absolutely flying on that heart rate right now. So we'll see if that pays off for her, though. Maybe just putting herself into the hurt locker here, as we can see now. Ellen here, 4.3 watts per kilogram, 163 beats per minute. And still is in there as well. C. Baring, another one to be watching out for, I think, as she is making her way to the front. Now, we're talking about teams. It's going to be about organization, I think, in the teams, if they do have anybody who thinks they can stay away. And I'm just not sure there's enough team members in, you know, in these races that we were talking about that are super organized when it comes to the attacks. You were talking about teammates 4, 5, 6, 7 members, right? So you have enough firepower to sacrifice riders. But when you only have 2 or 3 in the race, it makes it much more difficult, I would think.
Yeah, you have to outsmart everyone. You have to use other people's team as if they were your teammates. I've been in numerous situations where I'll let another team get in front of me just to add that extra buffer that I need going into the finale of a sprint. And some people look at me crazy, like, why would you let this guy in or these two guys in? And it's like, because those four guys that are on the front will be pulling off in the next 2 laps because they're sacrificing themselves for the sprinter. So at the end of the last lap, I would be, for instance, in 3rd position versus the 8th position where you think I would be. So you like cycling, you know, in bike racing, you're always thinking. So when you don't have a team out there, you have to utilize other people to your advantage. And I hate to use the word used, but you have to use them.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. That's all a part of racing, sitting on the wheels, being smart, especially crit racing. You've got to position yourself well, use every advantage you can possibly get, for sure. I'm getting a little bit of information actually coming through here from, I'm going to slaughter this name, Alan Cardore, I want to say, but I don't have the French translator here with me today with Quint Lefebvre, though. But he is saying that Man Lannergan actually in the women's race here. Let's see if we can find the avatar out on course. I did see her just a moment ago in the lead group, actually. And up toward the front here, actually, here she is. And I'm being told that Quebec provincial champion crit and won overall series in Masters Women's 40 plus 2017, actually. Be watching out for her, actually, maybe. Sounds like a solid crit racer. 178 beats per minute currently. I'm not sure that Man has had too many other races, though, here. I'm going to have to double check and look back at some of the results here, but I'm not positive that there's been too many other races from her. She went to Triathlon Worlds in Olympic distance also in 2017, qualified by finishing first in her age group at the Montreal ITU Triathlon. 2016 was her first year road racing, so just jumping out on road racing this year, actually. Looking through the results, actually, I'm not seeing her in the overalls at this point either for any of the past results. So I'm not sure. I think she's just jumping out for one of her first races here. I'm going to double check the current results, overall live results, because they'll give us an idea of whether or not she has done any races in the past, actually. Manon Land here, I'm looking through here at her link at zwiftpower.com. 6 races. The only other races she did recently was on the 9th. She did the CVR World Cup League race Zone G, actually. So in the mixed and brackets. So she's just jumping into those races as well. So new to Zwift racing. Good to see her out there. Welcome to the world of Zwift racing.
We need
just
more
in the last
her.
month.
Yeah, absolutely. Just women out there. Just come on, hop on in. No experience, just hop on the bike and give it a go. You'll have a good time, and I guarantee you'll get addicted to this. And next thing you know, you'll be winning races. So women, come on out and race with us.
We are seeing coming through here from Scotty. Scotty, this is a great pick. Thank you so much for getting involved in the broadcast. You can do the same as Scotty Weiss did here, letting us know that Katrina is pushing. She's got to look at this fan. That is how you keep cool. Industrial size fan.
Oh, my goodness.
Katrina, keeping her cool as leader, racing the E-Crit and watching Z Commuter live at Go Zwift, CIS Cycling, who she rides for in game. So good to see Scotty and Katrina keeping things real out there on the and cool in the broadcast. So Katrina still, it looks like, in this lead group too, as we are looking through here, there is the leader's jersey right where my cursor is. So Katrina still solid in this group and keeping cool. Let's take a look at that heart rate here. 174 beats per minute. Turn it up just a little bit, Scotty. You need to bring that heart rate bring that heart rate down just a little bit here. At a certain point, though, no matter how cool you keep it, it's going to be rising.
Or
no matter
turn that
what,
fan up. Maybe the fan is on low. If you turn it on high, it'll cool her off a little bit more. Bring that heart rate down.
So it does look like the men are heading into the, they're heading again into the White Hall here. They're going to have, I think, 1 lap to go after this one. No, this is the final lap. Excuse me, you guys. They are on the final lap. But it's just a 32K race today, I believe. I'm going to double check this real quickly, but they are on the final here. Yep, 33-kilometer race out there today. So we do have Segabrook here up toward the front here. This is the final attack into Whitehall, actually. Pierre Ficati here, 9.1 watts per kilogram now. And as you were saying, bunch sprint, if they want to get away, though, this is the moment, Rasan. They've got to throw down everything they got into this last. Now, with a K&a-half to go, is that a point? Like if somebody's going to get away from the sprint, what is the point in real life racing at which that they really want to try and do it this close to the line? Is it even possible?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it would have to be under a K, and that person would have to be doing, they're going to average 650 to 750 watts to the finish. So with a K to go, they would do that in just a little under 60 seconds, which will be a huge, massive effort after this short, intense race.
But if you're not a sprinter, and you're more of a track 1K rider kind of a situation, maybe that's where your cards are at.
Yeah, maybe. Unfortunately for track sprinters, they don't have to race, for 45 minutes, then sprint. They just, they just go out, unleash all the power in the world, and then they're done. So, yeah, again, it's going to be tricky.
On Zwift like this, I mean, you are everything you got to hang on a lot of times.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and they're going to the finale. I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction with 1K to go. I'm going to go with the Canadian. Pierre Ficati, but I'm gonna call him Pierre Ducati. He's going to have that Ducati motor, and he's going to zoom past everyone. Pierre
so the prediction is on Pierre Ficati here. I'm going to throw down for team draft. I'm giving Zimmerman the benefit of the doubt, but here come the aero power-ups. It's coming very early this time around, actually. And McCabe here, Johnson to the line. They've got to jump on the rest of the field here. Matt Johnson, but here comes McCabe. Now Pierre Ficati here with a little bit of kick. Jumps onto the wheel there, though. And it looks like it's going to be Johnson. Here comes Zimmerman, though. 15 watts per kilogram there. Zimmerman is making it happen, it looks like here. Right to the line. Adam Zimmerman, but no. There's one more coming. Larry Lascelles, nope, not going to happen. Zimmerman to the line, but the consistent one, Segabrook, able to make it happen as well. I think nipped him at the line for the sprint there. Segabrook there, solid result. Team draft, though, in the house. Go Adam, goodbye, G. Leo says. And Zimmerman, hey, Quentin LaFay, I know you're watching. The curse isn't real. The curse isn't real. Who won the race? Not me. No, just kidding. Adam Zimmerman won the race, but I was in his corner there today. Solid result there for Zimmerman. Pierre Ficati was there, though, as well. Let's take a look at the replay.
I think he went a little bit too early. He went too early, and he was too far back. I think he started his sprint from about 7th position back. If he was a little closer to the front, I think it would have been a good sprint for him.
Yeah, we are seeing Pierre Ficati. He did go very early compared to Zimmerman here. If we look back just a little bit, actually, on the replay, we can see Pierre Ficati was sitting in about 3rd place, right about, let's see, right about here. There was Pierre Ficati. We were watching him, but there goes Zimmerman right as Pierre Ficati started to open up as well. Zimmerman popped. Yeah. He popped that aero power up and the attack almost perfectly. About 200 to go. We see Lascelles coming on strong toward the end here. And, Segabrook, if he would have went just a little earlier, maybe been able to nip it at the line there.
He had a lot of speed. Yeah, he did.
He had a lot. Look at him come on there. I mean, comes flying by. But he maybe just went a tad too late, because look at how he comes on there at the end.
Yep, he mistimed it just by hair. So,
and the question is, between Lascelles and Segabrook, I think he nipped him by maybe half a wheel length there.
It looks like he did for second.
Looking at it, was Pierre Ficati there for 4th, I think. Ciano grabbing some points away from the NA boys. Big E there, and then Webb there, if that continues on like that. So solid result there with the men's race there. We'll take a look at the results here in just a moment. What an amazing race. Zimmerman, though, timed it. He's got the timing there with team draft. And that what kit are they using now? They changed up their kit recently. Actually, they were using the Bikes and Beer kit for a while because of the team draft name, but I'm not sure.
That sounds great.
And so I'm not sure that they are still using that. Same kit though. I think they swapped them up, and I think we do have them in the chat here. We'll see if we can find them and jump in with them here. Now I do have Kay Patterson here, and as we can see, as they're making their way to the line, this is the women's race. We're gonna just go ahead and swap up our feeds here over at the other side. We keep on losing our feed actually for the women's race actually on our other scene, so I'm just gonna swap these up real quickly. We'll get into the correct scene for you guys and gals out there. So here we go, back in with the women's race now, and it is going to be Katrina still there, keeping cool with the gigantic fan that we saw there coming from the Weiss household. Let's hear the predictions coming from the Facebook chat. We do have a couple coming through here. Angela Webster saying, go Katrina. Debbie Linder saying, this is a clever way to persuade me to eventually join a race, only if you could do them at 5:45 a.m. EST. We do have races, I think, early, and maybe down the road, we'll get Rasan to wake up with, I don't know, somebody out of Boulder, Colorado, and do a 5:40 a.m.
I'm actually up at 4:30, but I don't know if I could race that early. But I am. Well,
up. All we need you to do is do the broadcast. You don't gotta race.
That's possible.
You're just gonna sit down,
do
a broadcast. Maybe we'll get some Towley action in there with a Rasan, and you guys can handle the 5:45 a.m. Out there for us. So, all right, we got you signed up. You don't even know it. You're already signed up already.
Yeah.
All right. So
does that guy work for Zwift? Who just texted that? He works for Zwift.
Debbie Linder. Yeah, right. That was the setup. Complete setup. All right. So Kelly Ziegler saying, way to go, Spencer. Britt Mason saying, go Ellen. Cheering on Ellen Tarquino out there as well. Good to see a Britt in the Britt. I think Britt is in for the West. Now, we were getting some requests actually for the NA women's and men's for the, oh no, Britt is actually a part of the East actually. Britt, no race today? No race today? Looking through here, I'm not seeing her in the results right now, but she's hanging out in the broadcast for sure. So good to see her out there cheering on her fellow racers out here today. So looking through here though, we do see the final climb now about to take place here. Been very calm in the women's race so far. Not too many attacks. All Grupo Compacto. I have a feeling we are going to see an attack though here and another go here at it to try and get away before the finish here in that final sprint.
They have to do it in the rain. The rain's coming down in Zwift. Yeah, I think someone could possibly get away on this 6% gradient right here, but they really have to give it everything and then hold it to the finish, which is fairly close from this uphill. So doesn't look like they're going too deep here. Someone's pushing out 337 watts, almost 190 beats per minute.
Laura Fidel.
Nice.
She's actually the second place overall, I believe, in the series right now. I'm just going to double check my
She's got them
here.
Strung out. She's definitely going for 288 watts at almost 190 beats per minute. So
definitely strung out at this point. And it looks like a 3-second gap, actually. And this is where there may be a difference between some of the riders' ability here. We are seeing Kay Patterson, though, trying to get back to the wheel here. This is one of my callouts for the favorites here with the Training Peaks kit on. 6 watts, become 776 beats per minute. Iceman podium finisher, actually, right behind a few of the Olympians. Usually taking second or third spot at the Iceman Cometh each year as a mountain biker, actually. Caitlin Patterson, very strong rider out of Michigan here, trying to close this down here. R. Blair, Laura Feder, Ellen Tarquino, though, from Vision Cycling, 3 off the front here. Caitlin closing it down, 4-second gap. If she does make this, here comes now an Aero power-up. Is that because she's suffering, or is she going to go right on by? 6.4 watts per kilogram.
She went straight
She's
past.
not slowing down.
No, not at
This
all.
is quite the move.
Yeah, that's the way to use
she
the
doesn't
power
want to
up.
sprint, but was it a mistake?
Absolutely.
Because I don't know. This is a tough spot. Her and Blair now going away, maybe countering Fideo. 190 beats per minute. I'm not sure Fideo has a whole lot to work with now at this point. Turquino is here as well. 5.4 watts per gram, just hanging on to Laura's wheel. It's done. Gonthier's not going to bring it back, I don't think. 3.3 watts per gram. Nope. It's a race for fifth now. Caitlin turning the screws.
Oh, yeah, that was a good way to use the power-up because the girls in front of her were already digging deep. She used the power-up with her power on top of it and just strung the thing out. Now, if they can come around, I mean, if she can hold on and not allow them to come around, it'll be a fantastic move, but it's going to be tough to pull off now.
Yeah. I mean, so much was put to make this break happen, but it now is 4 up. We see Abbott coming though, pulling along, but I think these races are about to open up their sprint now. As we can see, there is that arrow power up coming from Ellen. Now Ellen coming to the line with a solid 6.7 watts per kilogram, as you can see now. And I think Ellen, I think that arrow power up has won it for her. Gonna walk away meters by meters. Where's the kick? Here comes Caitlin though, 8 watts per kilogram, but I think it's too late. It's going to be Ellen, followed up by Kaylin, Blair, then Laura Fideo there to the line. Moving backwards, where's the sprint? It looks like Beezer just behind a couple other riders there. We're going to have to wait for the final results there from ZwiftPower.com. Chris and Min just across the line, just ahead, I think, maybe of Katrina Weiss. We'll have to see how things ended up for the finish there. Results will update pretty quickly for us. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring in some of those live results as they do come for us through ZwiftPower.com. What an effort there all around. The preliminary that I'm seeing here, let's go ahead and see if we do have, no, they're not updated yet, but the preliminary is Ellen, followed up by Caitlin, I believe. She tried to jump across to Ellen, but it was a little bit too late. It says Caitlin Patterson, then Rachel Blair, then Laura Fideo. Will be Christine Shu from Team Fearless, actually. Kim Beezer, followed up by Christy McCracken, Claudia Berrien, and then Manon Lan, and then it will be Mary Still. That is the top 10 that I'm looking at right now, according to ZwiftPower.com, but I'm not positive that that is the results official. We'll have to wait for them to update in just a moment. Looking through though for the men's results, we do have those from this week finalized, it looks like here. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, maybe not actually. I'm going to have to wait just a moment maybe for them to come on through as I look through for the men's North American. Yep, they are here. Adam Zimmerman,
they are
first place for the men's. Spencer Sagerbrook, Eric Lascelles, followed up by Justin Pierficati, Anthony Ciano. Big E there for 6th place there. Then it will be Andy Webb for 7th. Peter Doyle, Casey Shum, Michael Bowles. Now, Casey Shum with a 9th place. You know, Pierficati, where'd he end up though? 4th place. He's going to be taking over the series lead, I believe. Now, there might be a couple of others though.
2 points.
Oh, are they already updated? Are they already up? Man, they are on it.
He took over the lead by 2 points.
Oh, my goodness. And Casey Shum, 100 points, new series leader. Now, this is one of the first times we've had a swapping of the yellow jersey, and it's going to be all out battle because Zimmerman, with that W, he's only 2 points off of Casey. There's a 4-point difference right now between first and 3rd place for the overall, all with 6 races. This is heating up to be one of the best series out on Zwift. This NA series right now is really, really starting to come together, Rasan. I mean, they're going to be battling up for every point.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch. I love this, man. It's so exciting. Purificati, I told you, he didn't get the win, but he got the Ducati in. He didn't get the, what is it, the 10.98. He was on a 9.99 today, but he took over the league, and, you know, being consistent is what it's all about.
Yeah, so looking at this, I believe for the North American, so I'm going to have to read through the rules here real quickly, but I believe according to the rules here that we do have here for the crit and the details, race eligibility, let's see here. So points awarded for first 20 North American riders. 28 points in reverse order to 1. Looking through here, I'm just going to see, I'm going to have to open up the Zwift events actually here. So, and we are seeing the weekly prizes actually. You do get eligible for weekly prizes actually, just by jumping into these races actually. So that's pretty cool to see. So points awarded for the first, let's see here. That's the EU actually. So I'm actually looking for the exact race information actually on the who is eligible. And I believe it is the top 5 overall in each of the series actually for the NA actually. So that's going to be a highly contested top 5 though, you know, coming into this section of the events where it's your best 7. They've got 6 so far as the most, right? As we start getting into that over 7 range, it's all going to start coalescing at the top, I think, within just a few points. And every single sprint, where you end up and whether or not you're consistent is really going to matter. I mean, top 5 at this point, only separated by 14 points. 14 points.
Yeah, and what you don't want from the top 3 guys is to mark each other to the point where they take themselves out of the race. And someone like Segabrook, did I pronounce that right?
Yeah,
can slide in there, or you know, someone like Chris Beck or something like that slides in there because these top 3 or 4 guys are just watching each other and taking themselves out of the race. I think what they do is continue to race their race, you know, and can't worry about what Casey or Adam are doing. They just have to race and go for the finish as if they were, you know, trying to overtake a 3rd or a 2nd place.
Trying to take the win is what they need to be going for, not trying to beat those other riders. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get you there 100%. Now, Segabrook here, after that, he's almost averaging 19 points per race. He's got 4 races in. He's got 4 second places and 1 bronze. He didn't win on the day, but he had a huge jump. Watch out for Spencer. You know, very consistent there and might be punching his ticket to the final if he stays this consistent. Very smart crit racer, it looks like here with Segabrook here. I'm going to take a look at some of the comments real quick. G. Leo, very happy that Zimmerman took the W out here today. We've got a lot of team draft comment coming through for sure. And Carissa saying, blah, tried to split the group on the hill a couple laps to go. Nobody went with me. Haha. Good job out there, Carissa. You did a great job not settling down. And always great to see you out there racing. Great job to Zimmerman for sure out there for that W. Looking through here, let's take a look at the women's overall standings as they should be updated here pretty quickly as we've had let's see here. We do have, I see 6 races. Is this right now? Are they updated? It looks like I do believe.
They look to be updated.
Yeah, they look to be updated. Katrina still with solid 87 points overall is going to hold on to it. But Laura creeping up there, as you can see. Laura Fidel.
Creeping up. Yeah.
You know, she was able to grab, I believe, 4th place on the day. Caitlin, though, with that 2nd place, though, jumps into 3rd overall. That is a big jump for her. 4 races. She's averaging 18.5 for the races she jumps into. Ellen, though, averaging 19.3 points per race she does. Only 3 races in, sitting in 6th place, though. So, Katrina, solid result out there today, but
awesome.
Really is going to have to watch the pack, I think, and try and get the few more W's out there today or in the coming weeks here as it's going to start to even out. Averaging 14.5 on the rank there. And has a lot of women here chasing her down. Britt Mason. I did get a message there from Britt actually saying that she is at the fire station tonight. Now it is a best of 7, so if you do have to miss a race or 2, you can do so and can jump back into the racing because Britt has been very consistent. Currently sitting 15th overall, but with only 2 races and averaging 19 points per race she does. Ellen, averaging 19.3. We're seeing Caitlin as well with 18.5. Beth York there with 18 as well. Now, I didn't see Beth out on course there today. Ryan for Vic, double check and see if she was in the results or not. I do not believe that she was, though, on the day here. Just go ahead and see. I do not believe we had no Vixen rider actually in the race out there today. So maybe Beth taking the week off, resting up maybe a little bit for next week, or maybe something else happening. But Kim Beezer there making her way little ways up, averaging 16.5 in the ranks. Allison Bullock there, solid with one race MC and jumping into 25th place, but solid with the ranking so far. Looking through here though, Carissa Min jumps into the rankings as well, 7th place overall now. We're seeing Christine McCracken, Christine Shu as well, 10th place overall. That's the top 10. Anna Rogers still keeping it consistent there with the 5th overall as well. So with 60 points. So all within about 30 points in the top 10, maybe 40, with Christine Shu there with 46 though. So definitely lots of wiggle room though, and a lot of races to get to the 7. So if you haven't missed any races, you still have a lot of time to jump in, I think, Rasan.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. Consistency. So you want to keep going for it. Katrina's the top dog right now, but everyone wants the top dog place. She's definitely going to have her work cut out for her, I believe. After seeing the sprint today, there's some gals out there that can really kick it pretty hard and know how to utilize those boosts and whatnot. So she's going to need maybe a couple fans next time, Scotty. Because the racing is definitely heating up.
Couple more fans, Scotty. Now, Scotty Weiss, current series leader, actually, over at the West Series. That's going to be taking place in just 2 hours. And Scotty Weiss, nothing but golds, averaging 20 points per race that he's shown up to. He's got 100 points. G. Leo, though, 5 races, averaging 19 points. And only 5 points behind him, actually. Johnny Rocket out there with 85 points and averaging 17, racing for the KRT. Watch out for him in the West Series. Scott Cunningham, 75 points, solid 4th place. Frank Garcia sitting in 5th with Brandy Meltingtala, both tied at 72 points, 4 races each. Rob Britt, Sean Harmer, Tim Sullivan, and the colossal B-Salts, Bass Salts. Always good to see Bass Salts out there in 10th place. So that is the current standings for top 10. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm getting some rendering there issues there, but the top 10 for the overall for the men's West. In the women's racing for the West Series, Jennifer Reel, 20 points on average. Again, walking away with it, it looks like. And Dawn Victor, though, looks like to be the only other one who's taken a W coming out of Canada in the women's West, actually. So Jennifer Reel looks to be the real deal out there. Katie Levy there with 14.8 rank average, though, has a lot of racers creeping up on her for that 2nd place spot. Christine Culver there sitting in 3rd. Giannis Denning, 2 seconds, averaging 17. And Giannis, that girl knows how to suffer. She's a cyclocross racer. I seen her at the Las Vegas event. She took 2nd place at the CVR Las Vegas event. I'll be watching out for Giannis Denning to be creeping up into that 2nd or 3rd place, trying to grab some results on the day today if she does jump into the racing out there, Rasan.
Yeah, man, these different categories from the north. You know, to be honest with you, I had no idea with so many different races. It'd be nice. I don't know if you could tell me if I'm wrong, or you could tell me what's going on. Will these different racers from the different areas, will they be able to race each other? So, like, you know, Kim Little will get a chance to go up against Scotty Weiss and whatnot.
That'd be cool if there was a European, like, okay, so as far as like a world championship, that would be like really cool, actually. But right now, they are European and North America. Now,
okay.
You'll have to ask some people by you, I think, as to whether or not we'll have down the road a situation where now the winners of the NA and the winners of the European get to meet head to head. That would be really cool,
that's
actually,
what we need.
you know.
And you can form a team of 20 and bring it on. That would be really cool.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Now, they do race against each other in the CVR World Cups, though. So the World Cup League, that is a situation on Tuesdays where they're going to be going to Los Angeles by and and fighting for those top spots in that series on Tuesday. Okay. So yes, they will be able to meet each other. Kim Little and Scotty Weiss have gone head to head actually in some live events actually with the CVR World Cup League. So there is that opportunity in that. But in this event though, it is a North American and a European specific. Top 10 in the European, top 5 from each of the regions in North America. Going to the live events for just North America or just the European, the tax event with European, the CycleOps events with the North American.
North America. Got it. Well, I'm going to miss you next week. I'm actually headed to Australia tomorrow. We're going to figure out how to try to stream from there, but it probably will not work out. So I will miss you next week, Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll be back with you the following week for some KISS racing. Yeah,
I think there's some plans to try to do some other streaming though, which would be pretty cool if they can make it happen. We'll see if that does happen from the Tour Down Under. Hopefully we can bring you some coverage of what Rasan and the rest of Zwift are doing from the Tour Down Under actually next week. Have a great trip. We'll have to bring in my help with all things French commentary, Quentin Lefay, for some help next week then for the KISS race. We'll make him stay up super late and we'll have some fun commentating.
It works out. Yeah, because we'll, for you guys' knowledge, we'll have the 3 Zwift finalists in Australia with us, so that'll be pretty cool. Leah,
the Zwift Academy, Zwift Academy finalists.
Yeah, Zwift Academy finalists will all be together.
Who's going to be there then? It's going to be Tanya.
Tanya.
Yep, you're going to have Ollie. You're going to have Ollie. Right along with, sweet, Leah. Awesome. Oh, and you're gonna have Leah there too. Awesome. Yeah. Thorvaldsen's gonna be there as well.
Also,
awesome.
Yep. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So hopefully we can get them all online and get them together and have a little powwow and have a little Q&A with the public and hopefully stream it so you guys can be a part of it.
Very cool. Very cool. That'll be a great program to have there, and hopefully we'll get you guys on board. So, all right, West is coming up in just about a little under 2 hours. For those of you who want to follow that, I believe we're going to have some community members streaming it. G. Leo is going to be streaming it live from his perspective, so there will be a racer focus. It will not be on Z Community Live, though. It will not be on Zwift Community Live. For any time that we do go live here on Zwift Community Live, make sure to follow our Twitch channel for push notifications for that. We also do have a Facebook page, Zwift Community Live Facebook, which you can follow for updates on anything that we're doing. But the main place for our live streams that we're pushing people is the Twitch channel because it's the best place to get notifications as well as hang out for chat over at that live streaming platform, twitch.tv/Zwift Community Live. There will be other people streaming Zwift there as well. Very easy to find those who are streaming Zwift by clicking on the game icon at the bottom of the stream right now on Twitch. There's a little game icon that is Zwift. If you click on that, I just did it, I can see everybody who is streaming Zwift, and I can also click on past videos of Zwift, and I can actually see a lot of people have been streaming Zwift actually. I've got all the way back through January 5th, January 10th. I'm seeing hundreds of videos right now over on Twitch right now, just from the past week of people streaming their Zwift experience live. So I do believe we are going to have community members out there streaming their experience, or even other commentators that have their own channel that are going to be doing what we're doing here on their personal channels to show you what's happening in Zwift. So head on over to Twitch, hit that Zwift game right below our Twitch, do a search on who's out there streaming it, follow their channels, and get involved in the community of streaming of Zwift. So I know G. Leo did let us know from his perspective, current second overall in the series, he'll be streaming his perspective of the race over on Twitch, actually. I do believe Casey Shum might be out there as well racing, or maybe streaming from his perspective. I'm not sure what Casey's going to be up to. He's probably telling me in chat right now, but I don't have chat. Bad broadcaster. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Rasan, thanks for taking time. Hope to see you out there in the race in just a little bit.
Well, it is 6:08. I have about 50-minute commute at this time of day because I have to hit the 405. So, yeah, and it's not that far to my house, but traffic is what it is in Southern California. So I will do my best to make it home, and
The
I
pressure's
have to have a
on.
warm up.
The
If I
pressure's
don't get a warm up,
on.
I'll just be watching from the comforts of my bed. But I do plan to get on. I better read the rules and make sure I comply with everything. And hopefully you guys see me out there.
Sounds good, Rasan. Thanks for tuning in with us over at ZHQ. Tell everybody we say
Always
hello.
fun.
And
Will do.
have a great time over at the tour Down Under.
Over and out. Thanks, Nathan.
No problem. See you, Rasan. That was Rasan Bahati
Peace.
coming at you from Zwift HQ. That was the North American eCrit presented by CycleOps, the East edition. West is coming up. The community is going to be streaming that. We want to open that up for everybody in the community to be streaming their experience of it. So make sure to go follow all of the channels that are streaming over on Twitch. That is the main place that we are pushing all the streamers for their streaming platforms. If you do want to get into streaming, you can do so by joining and get support from us at Zwift Community Live by joining our Facebook group. It is Zwift Community-Live Streamers. That is a great spot to get support. That's not the place to share your streams. You can do that in Zwift Riders, Zwift Racers, all those places where there's lots of viewership. That is the place to get support about how to do live streaming. Make sure to answer the question up front if you do join the group. Where is your channel that you're live streaming on? If you're not doing so yet, just let us know you don't have a channel yet, but you plan on making one. If you don't know how to do that, we can help you on that too. So head on over to that group if you'd like support and to get involved in the streaming of Zwift. Next up is going to be West. Head on over to G Leo's or somebody else's stream to watch that. And we'll be back tomorrow for Zwift Community Chat, a new program we've had on Zwift Community Live, which is chatting with community members about the awesomeness that they're doing in Zwift. Last week, we had Eric Schlange from Zwift Insider talk all about Zwift Insider, how it came from zwiftblog.com and is now Zwift Insider, and all the things that they do, as well as, all the articles that they do. And we had a little bit of a topic that Eric Schlange actually had some expertise on with all the tests that he does about the speed of bikes out on Zwift and the different gear that you can get to go faster out on Zwift, and also some conversation about watts per kilogram versus pure wattage. You want to watch the VOD of that, you can head on over to our YouTube for all our VODs. The week before that, we actually had Greg Leo on, who is a professor of economics and game theory, actually, I believe it is at Vanderbilt University. And he's actually the one who's going to be streaming actually a little bit here. So Greg Leo, he was on for our first program for Community Chat. We'll be back tomorrow for some Community Chat as well, 2 p.m. CST. That's me, Nathan Garrett, coming at you from Zwift Community Live headquarters. Great job to all the racers on there. Thanks to all the viewers, all the interaction. You guys are always awesome. And to all the riders, so awesome seeing how many 7,000 plus online the other day at peak numbers. It's going up and up. It's great to see the community coming together and doing so much awesomeness through the power of bicycles. But thanks everyone for tuning in, as always. And we will see you tomorrow for Zwift Community Chat. Right on.